You're listening to Side by Side with Kathy Wilson, Episode 4 Without Fear. Tomorrow came abruptly with the sensation of wet sandpaper rubbing the tip of my nose. It moved on to my cheeks and forehead, but when the wet assault came to my left ear, I was ready to put a stop to Hickory's wake-up call. It was time to rise. There was lots to do. Wrapping my arms around my laughing Labrador, I looked out on our day. Great! No rain, no snow, and perhaps the sun is rising in the east. Of course, our room faces west, which is perfect for sunsets. I quickly found my robe and put the harness and leash on Hickory. Let's go, Hickory, you need to take care of business. With this in mind, we tackled the stairs and found the relief area. Hickory knew exactly what she was supposed to do there and didn't waste any time thinking about it. Once back in our room, Hickory waited while I found where the dog food was stored and measured the cup and a half of chicken and rice with the bowl. I sniffed it with interest and was not surprised when it didn't smell even a bit like the Colonel's cuisine. Just to be sure, I tasted a piece and found it uninspiring. Maybe I got a hunk of rice, so I tried another bit. No, Kentucky Fried it was not. I carried Hickory's breakfast back to our room and gave the sit command. Hickory sat and I placed the bowl in front of her. Okay, Hickory, bon appetit. She didn't need any encouragement, but delved into her dish. You would think it was steak. It was almost 7:30 and my breakfast was at 8. I grabbed some clothes, I didn't much care what I wore, and headed to the shower. Hickory was putting a final polish on her food bowl. 10 minutes later, showered and dressed, I returned to the bedroom, where Hickory was busy licking something black from the floor. This stuff was scattered around the desk as well as on Hickory. What was it? I was not left in doubt for long. There, ripped in several pieces, was what was left of the bag that once contained my coffee grounds. My day is not complete until I have downed at least 2 cups of coffee, so I came prepared. I ordered Hickory away from her Java gluttony and reluctantly called Greg. What must he think of me? Totally inept for certain. But I have to check. Coffee might not agree with dogs after all. They have chocolate problems. Why not coffee? Greg came into our room and I showed him the disaster. I left Hickory eating her breakfast and decided to have a shower. When I came in, Hickory was gorging on my coffee. Where did you have the coffee? Greg was looking around to see if there was anything else my pilfering pooch might get her paws on. The package was on my desk, right at the back. I don't know how she was able to get it. You will have quite a time with Hickory this morning. I expect she will be pretty wired for much of the day. As Greg left, he gave Hickory a rub on her ears. Not only did Greg like Hickory, but she loved him. Her tail wagged that fact for all to see. I wondered if this adorable dog would ever love me. The week moved on, full of endless surprises. My clever girl understood a lot of things that seemed incredible to me. She always knew her way back to school, no matter where we were traveling in Oakville. Before I could tell her to make a right, she was anticipating my command. Greg pointed this fact out to me, but I thought it was a lucky guess. She has a lot of lucky guesses, came his reply. Hickory and I were leading the procession on this warm, sunny April morning. We were about 10 days into our training, and a realization hit me with absolute clarity. Usually when walking, I am uneasy and tense. There is no way of knowing what obstacle is going to cause me problems. Traffic is a continuous threat, and don't forget the least expected can crop up and make trouble. You always have to stay totally alert and aware of the things around you. If you want to daydream, that's okay, but not when you're walking on the streets. This fear was always a part of my coming and going, but on that day, there was no trace of it. In fact, I was admiring a cluster of daffodils growing along the hedge where we were walking. I was certain that I had just heard a robin nearby. I stretched out a hand and felt the young leaves opening up on that tall privet beside us. It was a gorgeous hedge, thick, tall, and lush. Ralph certainly would have admired it if he were with me. I put my foot out to take another step, when for no reason that I could tell, Hickory made an abrupt stop and turned to the right in front of me. There she stood. She refused to go forward, and I couldn't without walking on my dog. We were almost at an intersection, but a few feet away from the curb, she should have taken me to the edge of the sidewalk and then stopped. "Hickory, hop up!" She wouldn't budge. And then, passing directly in front of us at top speed, came a bicycle. The person riding it was in a big hurry and crossed the street without sparing a glance. Had my guide not stopped, there would have been a collision. It was party time again. I gave hugs and praise, then a treat to top it all off. Greg explained that the hedge was so tall he had not seen the person coming, but Hickory heard him. "She's awesome. Thank you just wasn't good enough."